Okay, folks, good morning and welcome to Best Stock Charts for the new trading week. I hope everybody's having an awesome Memorial Day weekend. And what we're going to spend our time doing today is talking about how was our week last week? How do we do with our calls on the market? We're also going to talk about the trades that we're looking to put on for the new trading week. And we're going to be using the market scanner functionality of TrendSpider. I'll demonstrate how we identify opportunities in the market using automated technical analysis. Now, I already have two stocks I've already selected, IBM and UGA. UGA is a gasoline ETF. The reason why I've chosen those is that they held up very, very well in the recent sell-off, and they are very close, if not breaking out to new higher highs on a weekly and monthly time frame. So I'm going to go over those charts in a moment, but let's spend a moment first, talking about how our week was last week, and B, let's use the scanner to identify opportunities. So last week, we did very well. We traded Costco earnings, NVIDIA earnings. We made profits there. Our gold mining stocks, silver mining stocks all did very, very well. Our silver trade up over 3%. And to clarify, that's a leveraged ETF that we're using on silver. Now, we do have a Strangle trade on the triple Qs with a bias to the short side. Basically, we're selling premium on the options of the triple Qs. We did go in and we managed that position. Initially, we had a 309 strike price. I said, you know what? Our position here may and will probably get tested. So we adjusted the strike price to A, free up buying power, B, to make ourselves less short of the Qs. And if you're wondering why we have any short position whatsoever after the outstanding week that we saw on the triple Qs, on the stock market last week, well, you got to ask yourself the question, what has changed from the whys behind the sell-off in the stock market to begin with? Nothing. So I believe that last week was a counter-trend rally. Might we have more legs to the upside of this rally? Sure. But I discussed with members on the week ahead commentary in the members area. It's posted. So if you're a current member, go over, check it out. I shared my concerns about this market and why at some point in time, I think that we're going to come back down at a bare minimum, do a retest of recent lows, maybe put in a slightly higher low, and we'll see at that point in time, do we break out to new higher highs? If we fail to do so and we break down to new lower lows, well, then it's game on to the short side. So let's get to it. Let's talk about first our sponsor. Folks, we're going to be using TrendSpider today. Automated technical analysis. I use it all the time. I'm going to demonstrate their screener. If you're not using TrendSpider by now, you're really trading with one arm behind your back. You're not trading with an edge over not just institutions, but now many of your peers, the retail investor, they're using software and probably TrendSpider. And all this functionality, scanning, charts, analysis, unusual options flow, huge, seasonality, I use this all the time, short volume, social media buzz, these are all contrarian indicators and sentiment indicators, and they can drive the market. If you're not experienced with technical analysis, this is built for you. And the reason is this, if you're just learning how to draw your support and resistance levels, why not have the automated trend line functionality validate the accuracy of your support and resistance levels to help you build confidence? And if you're an experienced trader like I am, there are many times where I draw my own manual trend lines, then I'll overlay the automated trend lines on top of what I've done to see what I may have missed, and I get schooled. So folks, head on over, use the link below. I give a 35% discount code. That code is below. You can head on over, explore their product. They have a 7-day free trial offer. I believe in it so much that I give it away free to our silver and gold level members. They have a ton of video tutorials, and their customer support is just bar none outstanding. And TrendSpider is the only other product out there that I sponsor. Why? Because I know the product, I know the management, and I feel confident. So take advantage of them. TrendSpider, 35% discount code below. Let's get to it. All right, so I think I already mentioned this, that I already have two stocks, IBM, that I'm liking for the new trading week, And let's go to the weekly chart. And the reason is this, is take a look over the past couple of months, and IBM has held up very, very well in the face of a pretty ruthless sell-off. This is impressive. So what this is telling me is that we have a ton of relative strength here. There is a massive amount of support below. So with this type of trade, I'd be willing to go in and buy a call spread, maybe just calls, or buy the shares outright. And that's what we're probably going to do with IBM. I'll be sending out alerts to our members. So if you're not currently a member, head on over, 14-day free trial offer, link below. Let's overlay the weekly trend lines. And you can see that we have a bit of resistance above here. So I'd be fine with nibbling on a position here, but I would wait before I got overly aggressive. You know, I'm going to redo this. Let's clear all these old drawings. Okay, that's better, cleaner. So here is our breakout on a weekly time frame. So really, really nice stuff here. So what I would want to do as you proceed into the new trading week is this. I would want to see a pullback and a retest of the breakout point. In essence, we pull back, tap this lower band of support, and then we begin to nibble with a stop loss just in case we fail and we break back down into this trading range. So IBM, and then what we want to do is, that alert is set. We wait. As we begin to break out and move up higher, well, I want to be a buyer on a breakout and a close. Most importantly, a close above this resistance level. I'm not going to keep any sensitivity on here. And we're going to add to position if, in fact, we pull back and we bought some shares, or if we never do pull back, well, if we close above resistance, we'll open up the position. And we want to take action on a breakout and a close. Folks, I can't stress how important it's going to be for us to close above resistance before we take action. That's the rules-based approach. And if you're using these alerts that TrendSpider has, you'll avoid the third rail of trading, which is hoping when you should fear. Wait for that breakout. Don't hope for that breakout. So that's IBM. Let's head on over to UGA. And members, go to the members area. I'm going to be setting up entry points, stop loss points, and price targets for these stocks in the members area. So go check it out. It's been updated already. UGA. UGA is a gasoline fund, folks. And unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. This is a weekly chart. We're going up higher. This trend is clear and defined. Last week, we broke out to new higher highs. The one thing I will point out is that volume came in lighter, but I do believe that we are going to move up higher. Look at this. Rising wedge formation and a breakout. So I'll set an alert here. Perhaps we'll get a pullback and a retest. We may or may not. It's a commodity. It's very, very volatile. Touch, bounce, and we're good to go here. Now, what I want to do is stress, folks, that as these prices of energy go up higher, and I'll tell you right now, my scanner is littered with energy stocks. One of my scanners. And if you take a look at the USO, which is the oil ETF, it too broke out last week. So this sector actually broke out the week before last. We had a continuation breakout last week, so this could be bought as well. So this is going up higher. And unfortunately, that is going to be a negative for the overall markets. So we want to buy what has strength. We want to short what is displaying weakness. And right now, these names, USO, UGA, IBM, they're all showing strength. We can buy the equities. We could buy the calls. We could sell naked puts. That's a bullish trade when you're selling them, not buying them. So now what I want to do is I want to find 3 more names to add to our watch list for the new trading week. We could settle for 2 because I did go over USO. But let's run some scans here. Now I'm going to use the 6 candlestick bullish roll because I believe that in all probability, we're going to move higher this coming week. I'm going to scan the NASDAQ 100 first, see what that brings up. It's a pretty thin search of only 100 stocks. So we have Amazon. I already opened up a position on Amazon, opened up a Strangle last week, so that's already open. We're in that. Let's take a look at PDD. I don't know this company. Good looking chart though. Let's make note of PDD. All the years I've been doing this, I've never heard of this company. So that's one of the values of TrendSpider. Let's broaden our search results here out, or cast a wider net, I should say. And let's go with the S&P Composite 1500 stocks. Amazon appears again. This is Carnival Cruise Lines. Let's see what that looks like. Now, what this scan is trying to show us is that we've bottomed out and that we have sequential higher highs. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean, simply because it appears on the screen, that we are looking to buy it immediately. What we're looking for are opportunities to watch for now pullbacks and higher lows get put in. To date, all we've seen are lower highs and lower lows. Now the question then becomes, if this rally is to have legs, well, then you're going to have stocks that have the ability to pull back, put in higher lows, and then rally to new higher highs. I'm not really feeling it here with Carnival on a daily time frame. Maybe the weekly time frame will get me a bit more excited. Not really. I think there's better ones out there. This is a good name. LyondellBasell Industries. This sector is pretty strong of late. And again, I want to see what stocks have held up fairly well in this sell-off. And you can see that this stock has. So we'll make note of this. Because when you take a look at stocks that have held up well after a ruthless sell-off, and then they begin to show strength, well, there's not much in terms of overhead supply, meaning prior buyers who are now licking their wounds and just looking to get made whole. They're not looking to sell LyondellBasell or IBM, UGA, PDD. No, those are in rally mode. Or in the case of Lyondell, it's been consolidating. So there's no regret above. There's no overhead supply looking to get made whole. So we like these names. We have some restaurant stocks here. Not loving it. Too much overhead supply. Ruth Chris, too much overhead supply. And here's the value of the automated trend lines, folks. I didn't draw this. This is the computer. This is the algorithm. Watch, I'm going to click this button. Off, on. Simple as that. That's the value of the algorithm. It's a huge time saver. But I'm not loving this setup here from a long perspective. I'm looking for longs right now. We already have shorts on. A lot of restaurant stocks. They've been beaten up, though. I'm not interested. Darden. Wynn Casinos. This is a discretionary name. Nice breakout. Let's check out the weekly chart. Good bottoming action here. All right, so when we're going to add. So let's do some analysis of these names. And we will set up some alerts as well. So let's take the scanner off. Free up some real estate on the screen. And since we have WYNN up here, we'll begin with WYNN. So from the outset, WYNN is not going to be a long-term trade. I can tell you that. This is going to be a short-term swing trade. Why? There's way too much overhead supply here. You've seen consistently the stock rally, just like back here, 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 ultimately to fail. In this market environment, you do not want to be in discretionary names. It doesn't mean that they're not going to get a rally. But ultimately what happens is that the rally fails. Here's your bull flag setup, bear flag setup, I should say, sorry. Bear flag setup. Once it breaks down below the support level, it's a short. Same thing happened back here. So what I'm illustrating here is that you do not want to fall in love with Wynn Resorts, but we can take advantage of a rally. And here's what I'm expecting to see. is that we rally for the next couple of weeks perhaps, and you'll probably find some resistance as you get your VWAP in orange or your moving averages down below. They're going to act as declining resistance or a declining ceiling on WYNN shares. So members, go to the members area, check out the entry point, exit points for WYNN casinos. RSI is hooking up, and we saw a bit of a breakout last week, which is good news. And these are momentum indicators. Still putting in lower lows on stochastics, and we're at the threshold of a breakout, a potential breakout on the stochastics. So right now, the path of least resistance, macro or longer term, is clearly to the downside. However, on a micro basis, short-term basis, that doesn't mean that we're not going to get a rally. Let's take a quick peek at a daily chart. Yeah, I mean, we broke out here. Again, I did not draw these trend lines. That's the algorithm. Take them off, put them on, click of a button. What I would look to do here is watch for a retest on a daily time frame of the breakout point. And here's our alert. It's set. It's created. Members, what I'll do is I will add this to our new Slack page in our members forum. Now the next chart up, Lyondale Basel. This is a different story. This is a stock that does not have a ton of overhead supply above. Let's begin with the weekly chart. And you can see again, all these lines here, I did not draw. Those are the algorithms picking up support and resistance levels. Here, click off, click on. And you can see that last week, we broke out. The problem is that we have resistance immediately above. So what we want is to create our alert, get notified of a breakthrough. We don't want any sensitivity. We want to know when we close above it, and our alert is set. We're good to go here. This is a strong stock. When you take a look at it on a monthly time frame, there's been no sell-off. Look at this. We've been up for 6 sequential months. There's been no adverse reaction to the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ going in the opposite direction. So this is relative strength. We want to buy the breakout. And again, members, I'll be putting entry points, stop loss points, price targets in the members area. We'll post this in the forum, and we're good to go. And let's bring up PDD. All right, so this is a chart which is looking pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of overhead supply here. But what I'm pointing out on PDD is that what we're seeing here is a higher low. We've already had a serious correction on this stock, but it's now matured to the point where we've bottomed out. We bottomed out back in March. And while the market has gone into free fall, and yes, we've seen a little bit of weakness, for the most part, it's consolidated, right? So here is our higher low, and here is our breakout on a weekly time frame. Your stochastics are pointing out that this is a rock solid stock. It's beginning to gain momentum. RSI, higher lows. I mean, trading is, if you're going to be long, it's all about higher lows and early stage breakouts. You're looking at an early stage breakout here. Now, to me, even though we have a weekly breakout, this is still a short to intermediate term swing trade because you have so much overhead supply above. You don't want to get too heavy in this position. Now, what I would do is I would wait for a retracement here or sell naked puts maybe at a 35 strike. It depends upon if the options are expensive because you want to get paid for your risk. Okay, our alert is set. If we get a retracement, we'll look to take action. Would I buy it here right now? Probably not. Why? Because you have way too many resistance levels above. And of course, when you take out your crayon, you can clearly see that you have resistance immediately above at 51.38. We closed at 48.30. So way too much risk here for me to buy and hope that we break through 51.38. That is not how you give yourself the edge. You give yourself the edge by using technology to alert you that your support level, which is down here where we have our alert set, that support level has been tested and we can go in and we can nibble. And if and when we see a continuation breakout, especially if we break out and close above 51.38, which is resistance, then we can add more to that trade, because what the stock is showing us is that it's got the ability, it has enough buyers versus sellers to pull back. What was resistance back here is now support in the future. Buyers step in, bid the shares up. That implies that the bulls are now in control. And if you begin to break out above resistance levels, well, the bulls remain in control and momentum builds to the upside. So members, I will post this in the members area. And there you go. I'll update IBM and UGA as well in a few moments. Folks, we're going to be going live on Monday Night Futures Live. We're going to start the trading day off the right way, and that's with a view of the futures action the evening before. We'll take a look at the headlines. We'll talk about economic data, so please join us 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday evening. And if you're interested in learning about technical analysis and options trading, I give away a couple of videos below on my top 5 favorite candlestick patterns, as well as basically what is a strangle, one of my favorite options trading strategies for generating cash flow. So please take advantage of them. They're free. Don't forget a 35% discount code to TrendSpider below. And until Monday night, everybody have an awesome remainder of your Memorial Day weekend. I'll talk to you soon, and be well.